Brooks and Bryson not pairing them together, mistake or smart? Where are you at with that?
Yeah, it's a good debate, and I love this. And it'd be great to when we post this podcast to hear from some listeners too, just through social, to get in on this debate. It's an interesting play by the USGA to not pair them, because on the one hand, would it drive ratings and interest? Probably, absolutely. Even for the casual golf fan who's kind of followed along and understood what was happening here. But I think there could potentially be some nuances here as to why they didn't pair them together. One, I think the crowd could become overwhelming for the two of them. I think the comments and callouts of Brooksy when Bryson hits a shot might be unfair to Bryson in this particular setting if he's paired with him. Could get a little bit interesting. The other piece that came to mind here was the fact that these two guys are highly likely to be playing together in the Ryder Cup with each other as teammates. And so, does the USGA really want to play into this feud and build this to a bigger ordeal, knowing that they're going to need these two guys sort of in the Ryder Cup representing Team America and not impacting the chemistry in the room and keeping it relatively easy for Stricker, who's the captain? So I wonder how this played out, how the decision was made. Give me your take. What do you think about this?
First of all, this is awesome for golf. Having this rivalry is incredible for golf. You need stars, you need drama, and nothing brings in the casual fan like a nice rivalry. If I'm looking at this, by the way, who do you think's the bad guy in that relationship? Who do you put as the heel here?
I think of how the way things went down, they almost kind of position Brooks a little bit as the bad guy because of the rolling the eyes and I can't stand that kind of thing. But quite honestly, I don't think Brooks anticipated that to be leaked. Like, the press kind of leaked that video. It came out. And so he may have got painted a bit as the bad guy here. But I don't know how much. I don't know what other players feel about Bryson with what he's doing, the way he's changing the game, the routine on the range where you see him doing these speed tests. He's just mashing golf balls one after another as quick as he can. Everyone's kind of looking and saying, what is this guy doing? He's gotten really big, pretty quick, big in size. I mean, like, bulked up. Some question marks maybe there. The slow play is an issue for him. I think it's maybe one of the issues that
you sound like you are pro Brooks in this relationship, without a doubt.
I'm indifferent in the relationship. I think both guys might have kind of similar games. They both hit the ball deep, but I don't know who the bad guy is. Right now, it kind of looks like Brooks.
So I think that generally people were against Bryson, and to be honest, I was a little bit pro Brooks. But the more I thought about it, I'm like, the little jab he gave when on TV, and then the eye roll. You don't do an eye roll like that just for like a one-off time. Like, that had to be constant little pricks that he's been doing to Brooks. It's kind of like the annoying little brother factor, that kind of roll the eyes like, oh my gosh. I'm team Bryson right now for this thing. And again, if I'm thinking Ryder Cup, just to use just a couple wrestling analogies here, you don't give the fans what they want right away. So, not pairing them up this weekend, completely by design. Let it build. Let this build. It's just begun. So when it does happen, let's hope it's at a great moment, like a final on a Sunday or a big event down the road. But to the Ryder Cup point, absolutely, I want these two working together. Two guys that hate each other working together.
It's terrible for the room.
It's great. Think of every great rock band. They always hate each other. Axl Rose and Slash, get them back together, right? People want to see that. They weren't the same without each other. Oasis, right? Two brothers can't stand each other. People love their music. Who doesn't love Wonderwall? Like, absolutely put these two together, because we want to see a friction. We want to see Noel hit his brother with a chair. We want to see something go down where an argument happens between teammates.
Maybe in the music industry, but you always hear those comments about in sports about a disruptive player in the room, you know, and how they impact that. I think in a team setting, you need everybody moving the same direction. If you got two guys feuding, it's tough to do that. Let me spin one more thing at you here, because we had a conversation with a longtime listener. I'm going to call him a longtime listener. Craig Scott. So Craig Scott, longtime listener. This was an interesting angle that he threw at us that quite honestly hadn't crossed my mind until he brought it up. But so the PGA Tour created a $40 million bonus pool. It's called a social media bonus pool that's designed to reward players who drive fan and sponsor engagement. So at the end of the year, a pool of $40 million would be basically distributed among 10 players, so it's called. Is this, and I love a good conspiracy theory as we talked about it, is there a conspiracy theory around here where Brooks and Bryson said, let's get a piece of that pie, right? And let's create a little something, drive some engagement, and be the two guys that drive that social media engagement and collect that easy money. Do we think there's something to this?
So I didn't know about this social media bonus. What a great idea, by the way. Every sport should do this. Like, this is what is just a great way to create a little bit more content, a little bit more controversy. When I learned about this, absolutely, this is rigged now, right? I'm all in on this conspiracy. Now, it may have just started as a little joke, then that's why he made the comment. But then it became in play on this, play into this. Like, we got to play into this. Well, let's go get that social bonus. Let's split it down the middle. But they have to be leading the way now.
You would assume.
I wish
even just with like
the
results
videos, on this,
right?
Like how it's being tracked throughout the year.
Well, because even when you see some of the videos that came out after this, where it was like Brooks did that whole video. He wasn't playing in the tournament. Bryson, and I don't even remember which tournament it was. Bryson was playing in the tournament. And he was getting, every time he hit the ball fall, it's like, hey, go Brooksy, hey, Brooksy. Doesn't Brooks do a video of himself thanking his loyal fans who's out there in the thing? Like, it's a plausible theory. Like, it's an interesting thing to think about, that there could be something.
It'll all come out one day.
You never know. So fun. I think we could debate all day around Bryson and Brooks, and it's a fun conversation to have. And I think you kind of hit the nail on the head there. Is it good or bad for golf? That's the other big debate. I think at the end of the day, if you can build rivalry and healthy competition around the game, it's absolutely crucial to drive fan engagement. In my opinion, you need that rivalry. And it's something that right now, I don't know that golf has. Closest thing we got to at one point in time was Spieth and Patrick Reed. Again, was a Ryder Cup situation. And they came out and they paired them together. And I want to say it was at the PGA Championship. And basically in that very first tee, Jordan Spieth walked out and gave Patrick Reed a hug, like basically just squashed everything right away, because he walked out, killed the drama, gave him a big hug, like just like killed the drama. It's like, yeah, we're not feuding, like things happen and whatnot, but we're not actually feuding. But those rivalries and that drama, every sport needs that. So I as long as it's legit, it's not petty and over ridiculous things, but there's that drama and rivalry that can be built there. All for that. The game needs it. It needs it for sure.